Google Earth tutorial for beginners. How to use Google Earth. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. Today we're having a look at Google Earth. Now, I'm sure most of you will be familiar with Google Earth. Google Earth has been around for many years. In actual fact, it's been around since 2001. Now, if you have been familiar and you have used it, you will see that over the years, the features that have been added onto Google Earth have changed, and there are more features now than there ever were. So, if you are wanting to log in on your desktop, the URL is earth.google.com. And this is the page basically that you will get to, and depending on your location, you will see something different. So what I'm seeing now is an aerial view of a location. And on the left-hand side over here, you can see that there is a toolbar with a bunch of tools on it. And we are going to go through those tools right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is at the top of the page, you will see that the three lines represent a full menu. Here you can change your email address. You can also change everything about your account. And then it has just the tools that they offer you. And then you can jump into settings. And this is basically where you can define all the other features of your account. You can also give Google Earth feedback. And if you're not familiar with Google Earth, you can actually tap on this help tab and it'll be able to give you some assistance in terms of using the tool. You can also download this version of Google Earth for your desktop. For now, we are going to hit the little arrow at the top over there. We're going to close that toolbar and we are going to work our way from the top. So as you can see, on your main page, you can see an image of a specific location with some landmarks, as you can see here. There is a landmark right over there, and if you move down, there's another landmark and so forth. Now, on the right-hand side, you will see that there is another bit of toolbar information over here, and over here it basically says you can click to zoom a space or you can drag to fly to a place. Now you can just click down on your Earth and you can move that around and it'll then change the image that you see right over here. Now what is it doing now is it is relocating to the image that I just or to the location that I just changed it to. And some of the other tools that you can see here, which is the first one on the right, it says fly to your location. So once you tap that, you will actually be able to fly to your actual location. So if you just over here at the top say allow, and it'll allow Google Earth to know what your location is, and then you can fly straight to that location. That's basically like a centering tool so that you can just continue to have a one click to center yourself back to your current location. Then we have, of course, I'm sure everyone is familiar with Google Street View. Now, once you tap this, you will get a few blue lines and blue dots around on your map, and this basically is an area where you can click down onto those areas and you can have a street view of that specific area. Now we're going to unselect that, and then you have a 3D view. Now this view basically tilts your camera all the way down so that you have a 3D view and you're not seeing what you're seeing now from above. And then the next thing that you will see down over there is it says click to reset your view, and then you can just double click to swap back to the full zoomed out view of the Earth or the globe. And as you can see, you have a plus and a minus over here in the bottom right hand side. This is where you zoom in and zoom out when you're working on your map. Now if you don't have a mouse with a wheel, or you're using a laptop that perhaps doesn't have a scroller, then this is a quick tool or a quick way to be able to zoom in and out. And so once you've gone through all those tools and you know they're available, and that's basically how you navigate, you can now go over to the right hand side and we can see a bunch more tools. Now right at the top you're going to see a little search tab. Looks like a magnifying glass, and once you go in there you can now search whatever you would like, whatever landmark. If you want to search a street, if you want to search a building, an area, it doesn't matter what it is, we can search it right over here. So we are going to just type in a T and let's see what comes up. Now right over here we can tap on Texas, USA, and once we tap on that it'll take us straight to that location on our map. Now of course it's going to show us the whole of Texas, and what we can then do is we can then zoom in and we can have a look at different landmarks in Texas. Now on the right hand side, as you can see, it has brought up some information over here. So it's giving you some information. It's also telling you that this information was sourced from Wikipedia. You can also tap on this more information and it'll give you a heck of a lot more information on Texas. Now, as you can see here, it's outlined Texas in red. So now you can see the full state, and all the little white dots, as you can see here, are cities or other landmarks within Texas. And if you would like, you can just tap on one of those and it'll take you directly to that location. And again, on the right hand side, it'll give you some information about what you've just tapped on. So right over here, the landmark that I tapped on was Fort Worth, and again, it's giving you some information. And then you can also tap on more information. You can get more information on Fort Worth. So as you can see over here, there is an add to project tab on all of the information tabs that have been opened, and you're probably wondering what it means. So on your left hand side on your toolbar, again, you can see a little icon that looks like a landmark inside of a square, and we can just tap on that, and that is projects. Now, for whatever reason, you may want to create a project. You may want to create a project for personal study, a personal project for a showcase. You may want to build a project to present to a team. You may also need a project to maybe present to students. Maybe you're a teacher. There are many reasons why this project feature is very popular on Google Earth. So as you can see here, it's now opened up the projects tab, and on the top of the tab, you can just tap on new project and you'll get a drop down menu where you can create a new project in Google Drive. You can open an existing project, and then there are a bunch of other formats that you can actually import a project from. So we're going to just tap on create a project in Google Drive, and this is now creating a completely new project. So as you can see right over here, it says untitled project, and this is where you can actually rename your project. So the little pencil on the right hand side, you can rename that, and you can just tap on that and you can edit the name. You can now also add a description, and once you've added your description, you can then move down to the bottom of this window and it says new feature. Now, once you tap new feature, it'll open up a drop down menu of a bunch of different things. So there's a few things that you can actually add. So first of all, you can add a new place to your new feature, or you can add a place mark. You can also draw a line or a shape. You can also add a folder to your project. You can create a full screen slide, and then you can also create a tile overlay. Now, if you want to search for places and add them to your project, you can just tap on search and you can search for them. However, if you have been looking for places and you've gotten this tab right over here on the right hand side, you can automatically just tap on the add to project, and now this location with all of its information has been added to your project. Now, as you can see, it's put in this information where you can actually change the information that is put here. So whatever is written here, you can add to your own description. You can also add images, you can add videos, and you can make it uniquely your own. You can also change the place mark, what it looks like, the color, and the size. And then you can also set the view right over here manually. So when somebody opens this project, it'll be manually set to whatever it is that you set it to. You can also, on the bottom of this main area, you can tap on capture this view, and it'll actually take a screenshot of this view right over here. And if you're zooming into a specific landmark, or if you're in street view, you can actually capture that view and you can add that to your project. So you can use this now, and you can share this project to people that you want to share it to. And when you're done, basically what you can do is you can just tap the back arrow on the left hand side, and that project will be saved. It gets saved automatically, and as you can see there, it's right over there. If you want to now add anything to this project, you can then just tap again on new feature, and your drop down menu will align, and you can now add lines, shapes, and whatever else you need to. One of the nice features of the draw line or shape feature is you can actually map out area and distance with the feature. So on your map over here, you can see now you can take perhaps this landmark and you can just tap down on there, and now it says select a starting point, and now we've selected a starting point. Now once we've selected a starting point, it's now drawing a line, and as you can see over here, You can draw that line and you can tap down again. And basically what that does is that line, you can now get the information of the distance between the two marks that you've made. And you can just hit enter, and as you can see here now, it's bringing up the information of that line. So you can actually now enter an image, a title. You can also give it a small description, and then you can also give it an info box, and you can set the view for that specific line. So for whatever reason, as I said again, that you would be creating a project, that's one of the nice features of the project feature. One of the other things you can use here is the Voyager. Now the Voyager is a great tool to allow you to travel through Google Earth to different locations, all from your desktop. So if you're having a look down here, we have a bunch of different topics. So we have all the way from nature, games, layers, street view, culture, travel, and education. Now, having a look at nature, basically what you're going to see here is a bunch of nature landmarks that you can have information on, and you'll be able to go straight to that landmark and see everything about that landmark. You can see images. If you would like to use the Google Street View, you will be able to see different images from different areas on those locations. So for example, the safeguarding iconic parks. So it says here, protected areas are key conservation tools. So then you can see what that is all about right over here. The next thing is games, and this is a fantastic way where you can actually learn about the world that we live in from different categories and actually have fun by playing games. So again, if you're a teacher and you are doing this for your students, or you're just going to be doing it at home with your family, it's a great way. So you can play a bunch of these different games. They're all completely different styles, and then you can go into them. There's quizzes. There are this game such as where on Google Earth is Carmen Sandiego. So there's a bunch of different games that you can play there. Then if you tap on layers, if you go into layers, you can now have a look at some satellite imagery, time lapses, things like 3D imagery, global glacier coverage, visualizing snow cover in Google Earth. So it breaks it down basically for you in layers so that you can understand it more. And it's a great way if you want to learn more about it. It's an absolute fantastic feature. Going into Street View, again, it's obviously a fantastic feature. And I think one of the most popular features is the Street View, and you can go hiking around the world. You can go to zoos and animal parks. You can go behind the scenes of India's railways, discover Mariana Islands. There's a bunch of stuff that you can actually go in, and you can actually have great Street View images. Then if we go into culture, you can explore all the world's culture, the history of cultures, where they originated from, and a bunch of cultural based information over here. Again, all with landmarks and with images. Going back up to the top, we can do the exact same with travel. So if you want to travel around the world virtually, you can now tap on this travel tab, and you can go and tour all of these places that you can see over here with different views, different information, and it's actually a fantastic little feature. And then again, all the way at the end, we have the education, and this basically, this highlights triangular structures, geometry within the world, the exploring Earth's keystone species, the first voyage to New Zealand, poetry around the world, stopping the spread of Zika. This is school from London to the Himalayas. Explore the classrooms around the world in Street Views. I think that's also a fantastic feature. So you can actually have a look at what other schools look like. If you are a student in another part of the world, you can see what classrooms look like and how they actually go about their business. And that is basically the Voyager feature on Google Earth. And there are a few other features. If you go on the left hand side again, there's a measuring distance and area feature, and this is always fantastic. The view that you see here now, again, you can tap down and you can make a line, and what it does is it will tell you the distance from the first point that you marked to where your cursor currently is. And again, you can tap down, and this will open up a tab on the right hand side of the screen, and it'll tell you the current distance. You can then also continue your line and click down again, and then you can continue your line and click down again, and so forth. So if you have to create an area here, you would be able to calculate the area. You would also be able to calculate the perimeter and all right over here. So let's say perhaps we were landmarking 3 specific things. On the right side over here, you can see that there is a perimeter and an area. You can also copy that information. You can also change the metric that you are using, so it'll be in kilometers, meters, centimeters, nautic miles, inches, feet, and so forth. And then the area as well, you can change how the area is displayed, and then you can just tap on start new and it will release that information, and you can now start a new area or a distance that you want to calculate. There we go. That is Google Earth and a bunch of its features. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave us a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.